Welcome to Emtron Training Part 34. In this training tutorial, we're going to be taking a look at working with our knock control. Our knock control is going to allow us to add a Nox sensor to our engine, wired into our Emtron, and being able to get a window or a look inside of the combustion process on each individual cylinder as our engine is running. If we have a knock event or a rapid rise in cylinder pressure, we're able to detune it using the knock control, and we can spot trends to be able to go in and take further action if we want to go into our individual cylinder trim control and offset spark timing because we see a cylinder is more knock prone than the rest. We're able to achieve that and know exactly what's going on to make sure our engine's going to be safe both short term and long term as we run it in race conditions. We're going to have a lot to cover. Let's jump in so we can check this out. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at working with our knock control programming within our Emtron ECU. The knock control allows us to add a knock sensor to our engine, which will allow us to take a look inside of the combustion event to see if knock is occurring. And we're tuning our main spark timing table or operating our engine at any given time. We could have knock happening. We may never know it. Now, obviously, if we damage the engine, we know that there's something bad going on. We want to get ahead of the curve and know that there's a knock event happening and allow the Emtron to take action, to actually retard the spark timing, to reduce the cylinder pressure, to get that knock in check. We don't allow the engine to continuously run in a dangerous situation. So we can use knock control in two different manners. One, a long-term type of safety protection for the engine. If we have bad gas or we get into a situation where we didn't map out everything properly in our spark timing table, the knock control will take action and retard the timing to keep things safe. We also can utilize the knock control to guide us in making our spark timing changes when we're calibrating and working within the main spark timing table. We have to advance the timing to try to figure out and reach maximum brake torque. We'll find that if we don't have enough octane, let's say for the particular engine combination or part combination we're working with, we may run into knock before we reach maximum brake torque. In that situation, if we're running knock control, we can see what's going on and back off the timing as we're trying to advance it and figure out what is going to be optimized for our engine. So we can utilize knock control in two different ways. Both ways will be extremely valuable. And I run Nox sensors almost every single engine I work with. The Emtron has highly advanced knock control, and there's absolutely no reason to not run a Nox sensor and program and tune with it. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at how to go in and turn on the knock control, and then talk about some just basic details with it. Then we'll jump into all the programming details, how to make it work, and then how to integrate the knock control routine within your spark tuning process. So we'll look at all of that here in the tutorial. First thing we need to do is jump in here to config, and we want to turn on our knock control to be actually able to work. If we jump back into tuning here real quick, if we jump into engine functions, we'll find that the knock control is right here, but it's grayed out. We actually have to make it active. And the only way to do that is actually turn it on here under the config. So we're going to go into config, and then we're going to go in here into our functions and then into function output setup. In function output setup, under engine functions, we find that knock control here appears. We need to go here and turn it on. Now we can only turn it on if we've added a knock sensor onto our engine. If you're on a V8 or V6 or a V10 or a V12 engine, you want to run two knock sensors, one on each bank so we can keep track of what's going on. Ideally, we'd like to place the knock sensor in the middle of all of the cylinders. So, for example, on a inline four-cylinder engine, we would mount the knock sensor between cylinders 2 and 3, so we can detect knock what's going on there. If you have an inline six-cylinder engine, RB26, 2JZ engine, you could run two knock sensors and mount them so that you were essentially splitting the difference. Maybe mount one knock sensor underneath cylinder 2 or around cylinder 2 on the block, and another knock sensor around cylinder 5. That'll allow you to take two knock sensor inputs and be able to have a larger range of reading out of the knock sensors and to be able to tie that into working within your knock control. Whatever the case may be in terms of how you're adding in your knock sensors and making sure that your actual Emtron box that you're working with has dual knock sensor inputs, in case you're going to be running dual knock sensors, we need to go in and wire that knock sensor into the Emtron. Now there's two different types of knock sensors. There's a resonant and a flat response. The resonant is going to be an OEM type of knock sensor. You find those on a lot of older engines. A 2JZ engine, a Honda B Series, D Series, H Series, K Series engine traditionally have a one-wire knock sensor. That knock sensor is a resonant style. The OEM manufacturer has essentially tuned the knock sensor to work with that particular engine. Now, those Nox sensors are inherently noisy, and they can oftentimes cause false detection. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.